I'm Dr. Dave Janda. Welcome back to the Operation Freedom platform and our ongoing health and wellness series with the great Dr. Peter Glidden. We have an election coming up in about 3 weeks. Yeah, shocking, isn't it? Yeah, I know. So the title of today's presentations is Elections, Supply Chains, and Your Health. Now, how are those related? Well, look, there's many people thinking and believing that there is going to be some instability around the election. And this could well affect supply chains. And it could well affect what is available in your stores or in your drug stores or what you have available through your health food stores. And I thought what we would do today with Peter is talk about what everyone should have at home in case there are some supply chain issues. My bag is prevention. This is a bit of prevention. Now, worst case scenario is smooth sailing through the election, no supply chain problems. And you have some products at home. You have some ammo at home, if you will, in your health dispensary that you then have for yourself, for your family, for somewhere down the road. A little background on Peter Glennon for those of you not familiar. He attended at Williams College, graduated with a BS degree in pre-medical studies from the University of Massachusetts, obtained his doctoral degree in naturopathic medicine from the great Bastyr University outside of Seattle, Washington. He has practiced naturopathic medicine since 1992, and you'll see a testament to his clinical abilities. Every video we put up, and this is about our 45th in our series, has a number of his patients always singing his praises about how he helped them and how what a positive impact he's been in their lives. And in addition to that, Peter, in addition to his clinical skills, is a fantastic author. 2 books, Foundation of Our Library, should be the foundation of your library at home. You can get them through Amazon. Everybody is sick, and I know why, and Attempt a Cure with Holistic Medicine. It's my honor to welcome back my friend, Dr. Peter Glennon. Peter, welcome back to the Operation Freedom platform.
Hard to believe. Thanks, Dave. It's hard to believe 3 weeks before the election. That's just nuts. Isn't that nuts?
It's going fast and furious. Not to pun a political thing, but
all of this coronavirus nonsense, half of it is nonsense, has just shut everything down, right? Shut the economy down, crippled the economy. Probably not a good idea to do that. It was, in retrospect, unnecessary. That's a topic for a whole nother show. But nonetheless, right now, supply chains have in fact been impacted in the nutritional supplement industry. I'm talking to a couple different companies about formulations that I'm bringing to the table. They can't even get the plastic bottles to put this stuff in a timely fashion.
Wow.
So things are delayed at least 4 months. Production is behind at least 4 months, and that's just the nutritional supplement industry, right?
Right.
God only knows what it is in the automotive industry and everything else.
Right.
Food, right?
Right.
I spent a lot of time in about 10 years ago when I first started mentoring with Dr. Wallach. He had a number, I think his biggest base of support and people that really got his health message and really took that ball and ran with it were, interestingly, Mormons, right?
Interesting.
It was very interesting to me. I'd never spent 2 minutes with anybody of the Mormon faith before, but over the course of 3 or 4 years, I lectured to thousands of people, Mormons, all around the country, especially, in the Utah area. And one thing that I learned from the Mormons.
What's that?
Well, part of their religious theology is that it's required or heavily suggested in the Mormon religion that every Mormon have 1 year of food stockpiled in their house.
It's interesting.
1 year of food stockpiled away, somewhere, just in case the crap hits the fan and they're going to be okay for a year. They're not going to have to worry about it. I thought, isn't that an interesting idea?
Yeah, it really is.
It really is, right? And I have a stepson who was ex-military, graduated from West Point, and we were at their house a couple of months ago, and there was a big duffel bag underneath their bed, and I said, "What's that?" He said, "That's my go bag." I said, what do you mean your go bag? He said, "Well, it's got water in it. It's got a couple days of food. It's got extra clothing in case something happens and we have to bug out of here fast." I said, "Well, isn't that an interesting idea?"
Wow.
Those are things that most people don't think about.
Right.
And it's important to think about this now because, number one, everybody needs medical nutrition, because the stuff that the body needs to be healthy is not in the food. Some of it is, but most of it's not. So you need the stuff. Not all nutritional supplements are created equally, which is why I advocate and you advocate the longevity line of nutritional supplements, because they're very effective.
True.
But, you know, there's a supply chain problem here. And it's not a bad idea to have a couple of extra healthy foundation packs on hand. Not a bad idea to have a couple of products on the shelf just in case things happen. You can't get it in a timely fashion, because you can't just go down to the health food store or go down to the grocery store and pick this stuff up. So, you know, for those of us who have an eye towards being prepared,
yes,
it's a good idea. So here are the recommendations, and they're easy,
fire
breezy,
ahead. Good.
lemon squeezy. Okay,
right.
So one healthy body start pack, or one healthy foundation pack, healthy foundation pack per adult in the house that's taking it. If you really want to lock this in, have enough for 3 months.
Okay.
So that would be 3 healthy foundation packs per person, per adult in your household who's taking this. 3 healthy foundation packs. 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals.
Okay.
3 bottles of plant-derived minerals for every adult in the house. 3 bottles of plant-derived minerals for every adult in the house. 1 bottle of killer biotic for every adult in the house. And because we're still, interestingly, curiously, not on the other side of the SARS coronavirus 2 thing, Super Olive Health, recommendation 1 bottle of the Super Olive Health, or per month. So 3 bottles.
If you're going to do 3 months.
Super Olive Health for every adult in the house. So 3 Super Olive Health, 3 Killer Biotic, 3 plant-derived minerals, and 3 healthy foundation packs per every adult in the house. If you got that stuff on the shelf, you're in good shape, because it's going to last forever. You don't have to worry about it going bad.
Right.
The liquid products only start to go bad after they've been opened, right? And then you're using it.
Correct.
So there's no harm and no foul. And, you know, it's important. And I'll give you a perfect example. I got a call from a patient a couple days ago, because I do telemedicine. I treat people all around the world. And the person had strep throat. Okay. It was a definitive diagnosis of strep throat, and they needed to know what to do. So I told them what they needed to do, and it's like almost a drop dead 100% guarantee that it's going to work. I've never seen it fail. But it was going to take them, I think, 10 days to get the stuff.
Oh, too long.
Too long.
Yeah, no good.
That's no good at all. They needed it yesterday.
Right.
So this is the thing. If you can have the stuff on the shelf, then we're good to go, and we can sleep soundly at night. You know, and I have to tell you, we got an extra freezer 2 weeks ago. Extra freezer, put it in the garage. And you know, every time we go to the grocery store now, we buy a little extra, put it in the freezer, a little extra, put it in the freezer. I think it's a good idea. You know, like you said, what's the worst thing that can possibly happen?
Right.
Everything is okay. You don't need it immediately, but it's there. It's not going to go bad. You know, you just start using it. And so it's kind of like never fail fudge. It's a really smart idea.
And we have information. We have the products available on OperationFreedomHealth.com. Full disclosure, purchase the products on OperationFreedomHealth.com does support this channel, so we can keep producing our videos that we do every week. You know, Peter, the 90 essential nutrients. You know, I spoke to some people who recently graduated from medical school. And I spoke to them about the 90 essential nutrients and minerals, and what a huge positive impact it's been in my life in taking them with my arthritis. That I was on all kinds of medication, and then I ended up off medication. And they looked at me, and this is an issue we've delved in before, but I think we should talk about this today. They say, you know, it's interesting because through our education, through medical school, we didn't hear about this. We didn't hear about this. And so I gave them the Peter Glidden Reader's Digest version of the 90 essential nutrients. So if you were in an elevator with one of our listeners and they said, "So, Dr. Glidden, in a elevator speech, short, sweet, to the point, why do all these medical education establishments not speak about nutrition, in particular about these 90 essential nutrients and minerals?"
Well, it's the same reason that, for instance, with religion, right? In the Catholic religion, they don't talk about reincarnation at all. In Buddhism, that's all they talk about.
Right.
Because it's part of their philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that most people don't understand, that medicine is based on a philosophy. Mm-hmm. Everything has its own philosophical underpinnings. Most people don't really put those two things together, but there it is. So the type of medicine that you and your colleagues are trained in is allopathic medicine, and allopathic medicine is reductionistic in its philosophy. Reductionism argues that if it can't be measured, it doesn't exist. So since nobody's dissected the soul, it doesn't exist, right?
Right.
Therefore, the human body is just an evolutionary accumulation of biochemicals waiting to break. Consciousness itself is a function of biochemistry. Once the body dies, it's lights out, game over, because consciousness is a function of biochemistry. There's no independent existence. And inside of that philosophy, it's all about management and management of symptoms in the body with synthetic pharmaceuticals. Because the body doesn't really have, in that philosophy, any inherent built-in ability to heal itself, right? So we manage things. So you manage the blood pressure, you don't fix it. You manage the arthritis, you don't fix it. And then, new shoulder, new knee, new hip, whatever, right? And just manage it. It's all management, because the underlying philosophy is that the body is, in fact, a bag of biochemicals waiting to break, and that's just life, and isn't that a horrible thing? And, thank God for prednisone, right? So on the other side of the spectrum, we have every other type of medicine in the world. The naturopathic medicine, homeopathic medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, everything else is based on holism. And holism argues, look, guess what? The soul does exist. The spirit does exist. There's intelligence inside the body, which is running the show. Our bodies are so smart, they grew themselves all by themselves from a single cell without our assistance. Millions of biochemical processes happening right now outside of our conscious control. What's going on? Well, there's divine intelligence. There's spiritual intelligence, which is running the show. Consciousness, from our point of view, precedes the physical body. Consciousness comes first. Consciousness inhabits the physical body. Consciousness persists after the physical body dies. Different religions have different ways to articulate that. But nonetheless, holistic medicine is patently believes in God. I mean, that's the easiest way to say it. It believes in the presence of God. So in this philosophy, in this paradigm, guess what? Well, the human body knows how to fix itself. Human body wants to fix itself. Human body's trying to fix itself all of the time, but it needs help, right? I mean, we need to eat food.
Needs the fuel.
Need to drink water.
Yeah.
Need to breathe air.
Yeah.
Need to not pee upstream and drink downstream.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And needs nutrients. Body needs raw materials in order to function the way that nature and God intended it. Ironically, tragically, and some people think it's on purpose. I don't know. I don't know if it's on purpose. But the amount of raw materials which exist in our food, and this is an academic fact, by the way, this is not my opinion. This is according to the United States Department of Agriculture. The amount of minerals in the food has been rapidly declining since the early 1900s. And minerals represent 66% of the body's nutrient needs. So as time has gone by, there's less and less raw materials in the food, more and more chronic disease. It's a one-to-one relationship. And then when you add to that chemtrails and cell phone radiation and bad stuff in the air and bad stuff in the water, and holy smokes.
Yeah, right.
It's not good.
No.
So this is why we're seeing, life expectancy getting shorter and chronic disease getting more. I mean, let's not even start talking about Alzheimer's, for goodness sakes.
Right.
The numbers are scary.
Yeah, off the charts.
And it's not because you have a bad gene.
No.
That's a myth.
Right.
So the human body needs raw materials. Not all the raw materials that we need are in the food. So a smart person would add them. A smart person would not pee upstream and drink downstream, all right? They wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Smart person would throw the nutrients down the hatch on a regular basis. That's like putting, topping the oil off in your car. Everybody does that. And one of the greatest ironies to me, having done this for 32 years now, is we just got a cat, right? My wife loves animals. We haven't had an animal for a while. We just got a cat. Great cat. Now all of a sudden I have to buy cat food, right? It's been a long time since I've had to do that. I go to the store. I'm looking at the cat food, and I'm looking at the nutrients in the cat food.
Yeah.
I swear to God, our animals
have better
are more
nutrition
nutrified than we are.
Yeah, right. True.
My head
No,
exploded.
that's right.
And there's different amounts and concentrations of nutrients depending on how much the animal weighs.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, we're the only people making that argument for humans, because, if you're 100 pounds, you're going to need significantly less than if you're 300 pounds.
Right.
So all of these things coalesce and come together, making sense and fulfilling the body's natural need to be healthy, or natural need for raw materials in order to be healthy. Because your body wants to fix itself. I mean, you cut your hand, you don't have to tell your immune system to secrete helper T cells and upregulate macrophage response time and increase production of fibrinogen. You don't even know what the hell that is. Well, you do, but most people don't. Mm-hmm. You just have to keep the damn thing clean and it fixes itself.
That's right.
Well, it's the same with most things.
That's right.
So we need the raw materials. Now, that's not exactly an elevator speech.
No, but it's comprehensive. And that's the key for folks to know. So before we leave, Pete, educate our listeners on riseupintohealth.com.
Oh, so thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. It's a website that I've put together for information about health from the holistic perspective, based on decades of clinical experience by myself and a number of my colleagues. Information that you're simply not going to find in the mainstream. For instance, last night, I'm a big fan of Tucker Carlson. Mm-hmm. Was watching Tucker Carlson last night, and he had Alex Berenson on, who wrote a book about myth busting the coronavirus, and they were talking all about the masks, and that the masks are ineffective, but they missed a giant point. What they missed was the intention of the mask is to protect the environment from you.
That's right.
Not to protect you from the environment.
Nope.
They got it backwards. Now, the one thing that they got right was masks are ineffective at stopping the spread of virus transmission. They're ineffective at it. They're bad at it. They don't do it. Mm-hmm. But what they missed was the intention of the mask is to protect everybody else in the world from you.
That's right. It's why we wore masks in the operating room.
Exactly. Didn't have the patient wearing the mask.
Nope.
Right. So it's little things like this that it's easy to overlook or get wrong. Mm-hmm. And then, I'll toot my own horn here. This is my strength. I'm really good at helping to explain what seem to be complicated scientific medical things. They're really not. But my forte is being able to explain them in a way that makes it easy for people to understand. And this information you're not going to find it anywhere else. You simply aren't. Because there's nobody with my level of experience that has a platform like this and that is standing up and waving the flag and talking about it.
Right. Very true.
And it's important.
It is.
Because
it's critical.
A little bit of knowledge goes a long, long way here.
The books at Amazon. Everybody is sick and I know why. Attempt to cure with holistic medicine. Products, more information, more videos. The video on, it's free, 12 foods to avoid that Peter's done. It's on the top of our webpage at operationfreedomhealth.com. Peter, I'd like to thank you for everything you have done, are doing, and will do. Folks, I'd like to thank you for joining me today. Until next time, Dave Janis signing off. Thanks for your time. Dream big and dare to fail.